welcome her. Hey, Kara, how are you?
Hi.
It's good to talk to you.
Yes, thanks for asking me to kind of chat for a minute.
Absolutely. So, tell me about where were you before you met me? Like, where were you in your life? What struggles were you having?
Yeah, so before I came across all of your stuff, late spring, early summer, I had actually missed the last round in April. I was going through some pretty big career changes. I had worked for almost 18 years for big corp education in early childhood, daycares, things like that, for like national big hoorah companies, and had a lot of frustration that the human part of my job was like completely stripped of me.
Mm,
And I had gone to school for this. Like, I literally have a degree in how to teach preschool and own a daycare. Like,
right.
that's what
Yeah.
my bachelor's is in. And
Uh-huh.
so the further and further I got in, the higher I went up, which I was loving and enjoying, but it took the humanized part away from me. I didn't have access to the kids. I wasn't actually teaching in a classroom. And I felt so depressed, honestly. And so this last end of the school year, I actually was given the choice to walk away because I had been fighting for more advocacy and
Ah,
speaking up when things were not right.
wow.
And so I basically took that opportunity as a like, okay, like I turned the script and was like, okay, they don't realize what they're doing, but they're finally giving me a chance to follow my dream, to start my own thing, because I had been working 60, 70 hours a week and draining myself and not seeing my kids and not
Mhm.
having the things that made me internally happy or helped me have the family life that I wanted to have. And I was working so hard for, but
Yeah.
didn't have time to enjoy. So I automatically turned it into like a hidden blessing. And then I just started being like, okay, how can I do this? How can I make this work? And, all those algorithms and things that pop up, somehow you just showed up on my feed or my Google or somewhere. And I was like, okay, all right. Like, okay. So it's not on my desk. It must be, oh, there it is. So first thing I did was got the book. You were not doing any challenges or anything like that. But I was like, I mean, $8 or whatever for shipping. Like, I might as
Yeah.
well check it out.
Yeah.
And then the more I got into it and just being even in the free group, I was like, this is amazing. Like all the things that I'm going, how could I do that without knowing anything? It
Yeah.
was right there. And I was like, how can I not do this?
Mhm.
And so just even having that initial information instantly changed my belief that like, not only can I do this, but I can do this easily. Like hard work, yes, but here's the path.
Yeah.
Like, you laid everything out, and I was just like, I'm just so thankful and lucky that, like, somehow I found you.
All the right timing for sure.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
what made you change? Because you went to school for the daycare model. Now, I'm going to be, I'm just going to ask really quick. You went to
Yeah.
college for this, how to start a daycare program. Let me just ask you,
Well,
you've been through all of our training.
yeah.
How does it correlate? Like,
Well, I mean, a lot of, like, my college courses, and that was, 2005,
yeah,
2008, that,
I don't think they've
um
changed.
yeah, and really it was for early childhood in general, and it was
Yeah.
a NACE
Mhm.
accredited program for birth through 8th.
Mhm.
through age 8. So it was
Yeah.
really like early childhood development across the board.
Cool.
But it was more like the business end was more like, go get your minor in business and entrepreneurship. It wasn't
Okay,
necessarily
got
like
it.
catered
Okay.
towards how to run an early childhood facility or a
Yeah.
preschool or a daycare. But they were like, okay, you're going to combine these things and then you're going to write a paper on it and that's how you graduate, kind of deal.
Okay, cool. So our program, our training was more step by step, more inclusive, more do exactly
Yes.
that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Very much so.
Nice.
And it opened a lot of things up because before I was like, well, I can, do a ledger and I can do this, but like, how do you get there? How do you get an LLC? How do you make sure you have all of the proper documentation? I know
Right.
that I don't want to be liable, but how do I write a waiver? What do I do? It's
Yeah.
there. It's literally there.
Yeah. So so you actually snuck in on an early bird offer. So you
I
snuck in
did.
the summer, right? Okay.
I
So you
did.
snuck in the summer. Then you went through our training and then you posted something called the 1K in 1 day script. So something happened there pretty magical that I think you weren't expecting. Walk everybody through like what that
Yeah.
script is and what happened.
Yeah. The 1K in 1 day was just like, I didn't expect anything. But so basically, just like everything, like the founding families, it's like, all right, I'm going to do it. But, and I was like, you know what? Like, it's part of the process. If I'm going to do this, I got to do it. And so I buckled down. I got it organized. I got it up. I went and had a panic attack, and then I hit post. Um, and I luckily and thankfully have a very wide net, like my initial reach, my initial throw of that net is pretty short, but I was actually blown away by how many people I didn't even know were really looking at my stuff or paying attention to what I was doing, that were like, God, she's finally doing her own thing, and supporting it,
Right.
and just shared the heck out of it.
Mm.
And by day 3, I was, I think, like 50% or I don't know. I had a pretty huge portion, and I posted that I wanted $1,800, which was going to cover a couple of students across a couple of months for my
Yeah.
online platform. And then a connection that I have from a friend of a friend who I had met while I was running a special needs school for kids on the spectrum in the Cayman Islands,
Wow.
basically was like, I saw this, they shared it, and I'm going to fund the rest of your scholarship for the year.
Wow. So from what I have on my records, 4 days, $1,800. Does that sound
Yeah.
about accurate?
Yeah. And it was like, so this person had gone in and made a pretty big donation for the scholarship fund. And then actually reached out to my husband because she was closer connected with him with work.
Yeah.
And explained a little bit about what it was. And then she called me, and I was like, what is this phone number? And he was like, just go outside and take the phone call. Just go out there. And I was like, okay. And I come in bawling. And I was like, what did you do and how and why? And he was like, she wanted to do it all. Like it. And so then it was, that third day. And then by the fourth day when she posted it all, I was like, you guys, like how? But that's why sometimes you just have to take the risk, and it's hard to believe in yourself sometimes, but man, manifesting stuff works for real. And you have to have that belief and just keep going.
Yeah. And how soon, so you joined All Stars, how soon after you joined did you post that script? Was it within the first week or first month?
Oh gosh. I'll be honest, I was staying up so late powering through it that I don't even know, because I was like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this now. What I do remember is it would have been our first day of class was August 17th. And so, I mean, it would have been less than 2 weeks before that. And the early bird was like a week before that. Like, I mean, I got the 30-day challenge done in like 15 days. I was I was staying up until, being stay-at-home mom during the day, staying up till 2 a.m., drinking the espresso. And I was like, I'm getting it. I got to do this.
Yeah.
And because I'm of the mindset where I was like, well, if I'm going to put this scholarship thing out, the 1K in 1 day, if I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this, then I have to get my hub done now. And I have to do this because I don't want it to, I'm very systematic.
Right.
So I was like, I got to power through and get it done. Which I don't recommend on like a health, baseline. It's not the healthiest
Right.
choice. But I learned a lot and I got it done. And so, I mean, I found you, I think, like mid-June because I had literally just been separated from that position for like 2 weeks. And I went to my husband. I was like, this is what we're doing. This is how fast we're doing it. And I mean, it was like a 3-week turnaround.
That's awesome.
It
Now, are you
was,
still doing online? Or are you doing local too?
yeah. So I'm doing online, but I have very slowly moved to fully on demand. Simply just scheduling with live sessions and then, oh, well, now we signed up for soccer, so that time won't work. And now and lives change, but they all were like, we still want this, just the live sessions aren't going to work for us.
Mhm.
And so I decided to basically, as they fizzle out, then I close down those live sessions, but keep them on demand and just basically keep them with their teaching time lessons.
Right.
With this challenge, now that that's kind of got footing and going smooth, I have saved my income from that over the summer to put
Mhm.
into launching my local with this challenge.
Awesome. Nice. And
Yeah.
how did it go?
So, yeah. So we've done like a little bit of marketing and putting things out just to kind of
Yeah.
let people know, like, we're starting this, we're doing this. But then with the challenge last week, I was like, boom, here it is. We're officially launching founding family script for the local. Here we
Mhm.
go.
Yeah.
And I was a little nervous, not gonna lie, because I was like, I just did this 4 months ago. People are gonna think
Right.
I'm insane. Like, and now they're seeing it again, blah, blah, blah. Um, but it was really good. It was a little bit quieter this time, but then all of a sudden last night, two of the people I had been talking to, like literally one after another, must have been after their kids went to bed. I don't know. They were like,
Yeah.
hey, we need to just come over, give us the paperwork. We don't even need to talk. Like, someone did a background check on me through their old friend that they know. And it was like, but I was like, I even commented in the middle of last night's Zoom. I was like, guys, like, I all of a sudden have my two, like, boom, just like that. So
Awesome.
again, just patience, perseverance, and keep going,
Yeah.
and you'll get it. And I just have to keep choosing to believe in it. But the fact that we already have all of the tools and the systems, and you just
Mhm.
have to like tweak it for what you want, makes it so much easier and attainable.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So if you were speaking to some challengers who are maybe on the fence about joining Preschool All Stars, what would you say to them, remembering who you were before and the pain that you were in before and where you're at right now? What would you say to them?
I mean, it's so cliche, but like, just do it, find a way. Even me this summer, like, did I have all the answers? No. Should I have necessarily financially done it at that time? No. I picked up random bartending shifts with my friend's catering company. I sold stuff that was sitting in the basement for forever. I did parent day outs. I posted that I was going to go to the zoo and you could drop your kid off for $20 and I'd spend the day at the zoo and you could go do whatever. Like, I got
You
anything
made
I
it
could think
happen.
of. I
Yeah.
made it happen. I put it on my credit card to start, but I was like, I'm going to pay this off in 2 months. I'm paying
Nice.
it off in 2 months.
Mhm.
And it took a little longer, but I did it. And now, honestly, like, one of the best decisions I've made for my family and for me and my health and my work life balance and everyone's happiness. Like, for the first time in my kids' lives, I actually get to be a mom. Like, that's pretty awesome.
Yes. That is everything,
Yeah.
honestly. Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for being
Yeah.
here. You have
Thank
an awesome
you.
night.
Thanks. You too.
All right, we'll see you.